If you've ever stepped outside on a crisp morning and felt the first warm rays of sunlight hit your face, you know how comforting it feels. It's the ultimate symbol of life, growth, and safety. You bask in it, maybe close your eyes and enjoy the warmth. But beneath that cozy sensation lies a terrifying reality. That warm glow is being generated by a giant, raging thermonuclear reactor 93 million miles away, fusing 600 million tons of hydrogen every single second. And if you stayed exposed to its raw, unfiltered power for even a short time, it would quietly dismantle your DNA, boil your cells, and end your life. Meanwhile, we walk around under it every day, mostly unharmed. So what's going on? How do we survive living next door to a cosmic death engine that has the power to vaporize us? The answer isn't a single shield. It's a complex, multi-layered defense system, some of it planetary, some of it deeply biological, built over billions of years of evolution. Once you understand how it works, you'll never look at a sunny day the same way again. Before we get into the physics, let's clear something up, because our general understanding of solar danger is actually a little misleading. We tend to think of sunburns as a simple heat burn, like touching a hot stove. We get red, we peel, and we move on. But biologically, a sunburn is not a thermal burn at all. It is a radiation burn. The redness you see isn't your skin being cooked by heat. It is an inflammatory response to massive cellular damage. When your skin peels after a long day at the beach, you aren't shedding dead skin. You are witnessing a mass cellular suicide. Your skin cells, realizing their DNA has been hopelessly mutated by radiation, voluntarily destroy themselves to prevent turning into cancer. It is a desperate biological damage control mechanism. And while our bodies are incredibly good at this damage control, the sun is constantly finding ways to slip past our defenses. The first threat is entirely invisible: ultraviolet radiation. The sun emits light across a massive spectrum, but it's the ultraviolet rays, specifically UVA and UVB, that do the quiet damage. Unlike visible light, which bounces off or passes harmlessly through us, UV photons carry enough energy to penetrate your skin and collide directly with your DNA. When a UVB photon hits a DNA strand, it can physically break the base pairs, causing them to fuse incorrectly. It creates what physicists call thymine dimers, literal glitches in your genetic code. If your cells try to replicate with these glitches, they can mutate rapidly, leading to skin cancer. It is a silent, microscopic bombardment happening every second you stand in the sun. So, why aren't we constantly mutating? The answer starts high above our heads. Before the sun's radiation can even touch your skin, it has to get past Earth's dual shield. The first line of defense is the magnetosphere, a massive magnetic bubble generated by the churning liquid iron in Earth's core. This shield deflects the solar wind, a stream of highly charged lethal particles blasted from the sun. The second line of defense is the atmosphere, specifically the ozone layer. Ozone acts as a giant chemical filter, completely absorbing the most lethal UVC radiation and blocking about 95% of UVB. If the ozone layer vanished for even a few seconds, the sheer intensity of the remaining solar radiation would sterilize the surface of the Earth, destroying plants, animals, and humans alike. But the atmosphere doesn't block everything, which is why we need our own built-in biological shields. When UV light manages to penetrate the ozone layer and hit your skin, it triggers a warning signal. Your body immediately starts producing a pigment called melanin. This is what we call a tan, but in reality, melanin is a natural biological parasol. Special cells called melanocytes package this pigment and drape it directly over the nuclei of your skin cells,
physically shielding your precious DNA from incoming photons. It's a remarkable dynamic defense system. People with more active melanin production have a higher natural defense, while those with less are far more vulnerable to the microscopic tearing of their genetic structure. But the sun doesn't just attack us on a molecular level. It can also kill us through sheer thermal power. When you stand in the sun, your body absorbs infrared radiation, raising your core temperature. Normally, we sweat to cool down through evaporation, but if the temperature is too high or the humidity prevents sweat from evaporating, our internal cooling system fails. This is when heat stroke sets in. When your core body temperature rises past 104 degrees Fahrenheit, your cellular biology begins to break down. The proteins that make up your organs, enzymes, and brain tissue start to denature, literally unfolding and losing their shape, much like an egg white turning solid when fried. Once your internal proteins denature, your organs begin to fail, leading to rapid, fatal systemic collapse. So, why are we so fragile? Why can some animals spend all day baking in the desert sun without a care, while we require sunscreen, hats, and air conditioning? The honest answer comes down to our evolutionary trade-offs. Millions of years ago, our ancestors transitioned from shady forest canopies to the open, hot African savanna. To survive the heat of long-distance hunting, we lost our thick protective fur, which allowed us to sweat more efficiently than almost any other mammal. But losing our fur meant losing our permanent built-in physical shield against UV radiation. We traded constant UV protection for superior thermal regulation. To survive this trade-off, we had to rely on dark, melanin-rich skin, and eventually our intelligence, using clothing, shelter, and behavioral adaptation to survive a star that we are no longer physically shielded against. So, the next time you step outside on a beautiful afternoon and feel the warmth of the sun, remember the silent war being fought to keep you alive. High above, Earth's magnetic core and ozone layer are actively deflecting a cosmic storm. On your skin, millions of melanocytes are scrambling to deploy biological umbrellas over your DNA. Inside your cells, damaged genes are choosing to self-destruct rather than threaten your life. And your cardiovascular system is working overtime, pumping blood to your skin to keep your internal organs from cooking. We aren't just living under the sun, we are actively resisting its lethal power every single day. The sun isn't just a gentle source of life, it's a wild, cosmic force of nature, and our survival is a testament to a brilliantly complex defense system that keeps us safe under its deadly light.